subscribe now, cause every subscriber I gain, Ricky here promises to lose 1 kilo. You're fat. How are you so fat? I give you diet food. You're supposed to lose weight. Stop inhaling. That's getting you fat. Just exhale. I'm tired of going to the vet. Every time I take Ricky to a vet, they're always screaming, "Yeah, he's so fat, he needs to lose weight." I play with him. Daily, almost daily. Sometimes daily, but still, no. Can't lose weight. So anyway, hey, guess what? I got 7 new games, so I figured I'd go through them here and show them to everyone who's watching this video. Because that's what we do in these gaming pickups videos. I got nothing else, let's just start this video. This time I got 5 games for PlayStation 5 and 2 games for Nintendo. Now you might be thinking, more of those Switch games, eh? Oh no, I actually went retro. I mean really fucking retro. It's been a while since I bought retro. I'll explain why I bought retro this time, but anyway, we'll start with the PlayStation 5 games. Yeah, first one I got, this was probably the most kind of game of this pile, so I'll just go over this real quick. It was cheap, so I bought it. Whisker Waters. Yeah, Whisker Waters. Kind of a light RPG game where you're a cat, you do fishing. Well, that just fits, because cats like to eat fish. But there's also, side quests. You're on an island or something, I don't know really, because to be honest, I played this like 1 hour. I bought this because this was really cheap. But you know me, I like my cat games, so I was like, hey, that one has cats, and the cats do fishing, and I also like fishing games. Well, it has cats and it has fishing, but unfortunately, everything is kind of really mediocre in this. I mean, mediocre in 2008 standards. The fishing's not really the greatest. If I want to fish, I'll put on a Yakuza game rather and go fishing that. At least that's like good. Here it's an overhead view. You have your little targeting system. You place it where you want to throw your lure, and then there's the meter that you have to stop while it's on this little red thingy. And yeah, I guess that's a good throw or something. I played less than an hour. I was like, my god, this is just kind of really mediocre. It was really clunky. The fishing wasn't really like that great. I used to have NES fishing game. That was better. Actually, I kind of ducked that. I kind of want to get that back, but still, yeah, this wasn't really that great. Side missions, I got to try a couple. It was like, get me a 3 fish, or go catch me 3 bugs, and you just run around there and you see something black in the grass there, just skittling away. You go there and press X, you got the bug, great, and it wasn't good. I'm not gonna get too stuck on this. It really cheap, that's why I bought it. And you know me, I love my cat games, but this is probably the most boring cat game ever. So far. It definitely wasn't the best. I'd give it like 5 out of 10. It's that mediocre. Maybe 6, because it's cats. Next game I bought, I actually wanted to pre-order this back when this was released, because it's been a long time since I played a good game in this genre. And what is this genre? Boxing. And yeah, the game I got was Undisputed. It was really cheap. This was actually, I do believe this was my Black Friday buy. Also, yeah, Whisker Waters was my Black Friday. I have 3 Black Friday buys. That's how, because these have been kind of sitting on my shelf. I haven't played these until now, so yeah. Now I'm talking about this because I at least tried these. So yeah, it was cheap, so I figured, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna get into boxing games again. And I bought it, played it, couple of matches. I gotta say, it's when you're making your own boxer in this, a lot of options for bodily features, facial features, and when you're doing your body and all that kind of stuff. But when you're kind of doing your gloves and putting tattoos, that's really like also the hairstyles. Not really that much options there that I would have wished for. But that's really not the point when it comes to boxing games. In boxing games, point is about the boxing, how you hit other people, and it's kind of a cool system. I did like it. It was the left stick you move and right stick you basically throw different kinds of punches and combos and all that, and especially starting your career being guy with overall of 52 from 100. It can be, the match is kind of slow, but that's kind of how they're supposed to be, because you get tired fast. Because your character's still not, or your boxer's still not, that great of a athlete. I played probably like 5-6 matches. I also played once against a friend. We were drunk, so I said, hey, I got this new boxing game. How about I whoop your ass in it? And I did. just, side mention there. But yeah, I tried the career. I really kind of like the career because you have to actually hire your corner guy and your manager and your coach too, and there's different options, and everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, how they can help you, and then there's like your manager. You use a manager to actually negotiate about matches. You can pick like opponents and ask your manager to set up a match, and there's there's rewards and all that. How much you're gonna get out of the whole thing. How when it sells, what percentage is being paid to you, and all that kind of stuff. I really do like that. It was a decent boxing game. The boxing felt, like I said, I played mostly with a really small overall guy, so it was kind of, you really had to be tactical about it. You couldn't just run at someone and that's it, you'd get tired and get your ass whooped real quick. I dug this, really strategic. Still, I do have to say I kind of preferred the old, there was, like I played on PlayStation 1, I think it was Knockout Kings 2000, I really dug that. It was more straightforward, bit more arcadey. It had that something. Also, I think I played after that, it was Fight Night for PlayStation 2, possibly PlayStation 3. That's the last time I played boxing games. Like that one was really great too. I really dug that. I think in those ones I could be mistaken, but the punches were thrown from the buttons. It makes it more arcadey, more fast-paced and all that, but this one's more simulation style and strategic. I do appreciate this one too. Overall, I kind of dug the more arcadey style. It reminds me more of a fighting game, even though those also, they had their strategies. You couldn't just come wailing because you'd get tired in those too. But this one's like real simulation, like really in the simulative aspect of boxing, I'd say if you're in boxing games and like me, you haven't played boxing games in ages, you could do a lot worse. This was alright. This was alright. But your character customization options could be a bit more, plentiful. Some of those, like the tattoos. The hell was that tattoo selection? That was just outright crap. Also, the hair selection wasn't really that great. You got a couple of different shorts, a couple of different shoes, a couple of different gloves. Yeah, I don't know. But still, the boxing's the main thing, and the whole career mode and how you go through that. I dug that. I'm probably gonna play this more, probably. Oh, if I had to give this score, I think I'd go with, I'm between 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Ooh, I haven't played boxing games in a long time, and I do appreciate how nitty-gritty it goes into that whole coaching thing and, setting up matches and all that, and doing those boxing camps, where you go and fight for a few weeks and just train and all that. I'll go 8. We haven't had a great boxing game in a long time, and yeah. 8 it is. Next game I have here is a game that a lot of people loved, and I got this from a Black Friday sale. It was like, this was the cheapest one actually. This was 12 euros. And I've had my eye on this for the longest time since it was released basically. And it's a beat 'em up game. But also it's kind of on the harder side. And you know me, I don't like Souls games. But to be fair, I don't think this is that hard. Although I didn't beat this, but it definitely wasn't a Souls game. I'd say way more challenging than your average beat 'em up. I got stuck in this one boss. I died. Well, actually, I died like probably 15 times because, you die, you come back as older. Well, everyone fucking guessed it. It's Sifu. You die, your character, he ages, so, you always get a year or a couple of years. Actually, there was this easier mode in this now that I bought this, which I believe was released afterwards. When this was first released, they didn't have that easy mode or easier mode. It wasn't still easy. I played with that. You only age 1 year in that, but still I wasted all my years on one boss. So basically I died like fucking 15, 20 times, I don't know what it was, but yeah. Now, I'm not gonna bash on this because of the difficulty mode. I'm not the biggest fan of Souls games, like I've said many times before. So, too hard gets frustrating, and I don't like getting frustrated. At least not too much these days. But, on top of this being hard, I gotta say, I'm not really a fan of the graphical style. It looks it's a bit cartoony, but also a bit bland, and also I'm a beat 'em up game connoisseur. I like when physics just really hit and, those moves and all that. This one does have, kind of good physics and great moves and all that, but the way they connect, sometimes it just kind of doesn't feel like, your opponent reacts the right way when he gets hit. It's just kind of like it's close but not quite there. There's something floaty about the hits or something that just kind of bothered me, and I didn't dig that. It was still a good game. I don't know, something about this rubbed me the wrong way. I do have to say I really loved one of those early scenes in this where there's this long corridor and there's guys there, you gotta beat those straight. That was a straight nod to Old Boy. If you haven't seen that movie, the Korean movie Old Boy, not the US shit, the Korean version, the original, which came out like 2002. Fantastic movie. It was basically a nod to that movie. They were honoring that movie because it is a fucking kick-ass scene when the guy in that movie kicks. It's one long shot. It's fantastic. Anyway, Sifu. Yeah, overall something rubbed me the wrong way. I do love my beat 'em ups, but I don't know. There's a couple beat 'em ups that are coming hopefully this year that look just way kind of grittier and better, that I'm looking forward for more. But yeah, this wasn't a bad game, but probably my main problem was the graphical style. I don't know what it is, but I didn't dig it. I was hoping this was kind of the same situation than it was with Shinobi, Art of Revenge, I think it was. Yeah, because Ninja Gaiden was Ragebound. Yeah, that was Art of Revenge. And I looked at that and I bought Ninja Gaiden first because I thought Shinobi, it looked so cartoonish and all that, That style, sometimes it rubs me the wrong way, but that game proved me wrong. It was fucking fantastic. This one, I don't know, I have my graphical preferences, and this one didn't meet those, so... Overall, I'd say this is a pretty goddamn good game, but there's just something nagging in the back of my brain that said, nah, we're not doing this. No. Look at that. There's something off. Doesn't work. It's like watching a pretty picture, but subconsciously realizing that there's something fucked up about it, but can't really put your finger and point at it and say that's it. It's more like abstract what's bothering me in this. Something about the graphical style and something about the hits and all that. The fighting flowed nicely, but still, I don't know. I'll still give it 8 out of 10. A lot of people have really enjoyed this, so yeah. It just wasn't really my vibe, but still, I recognize that it is a good game, and I do hope they keep making more beat 'em up games, because that is a genre that's been kind of forgotten. Well, Yakuza game, even they went the JRPG route, which I do like. I just wanna kick ass, Luckily, there's a few coming that look really interesting and really bloody and gory and gritty. That one kind of was missing that aspect too. Hell, it's been a little while since I played that. Did that really have like blood? That's something that when I play beat 'em up games, I wanna enjoy the work of my fists. I punch someone, I wanna see their eyes swell up, their noses splatter blood all over and all that kind of stuff. It needs to be gritty. What's the point of beating people up if you can't see some red? Although I do play a lot of like NES beat 'em up games, not like those had blood or anything like that. Well, fuck it, scratch that. Even Double Dragon 2 for NES. You drew someone with a knife, you get a little red star there. So, honestly, I still can't. I'm blacking out. Did that have blood? If it did, it wasn't much. Next game I have, PlayStation 5. This was, it started out fucking fantastic. Towards the end, it just kept going and going and going. If this is fantastic, it went like this, and then maybe this, and then maybe this. It's a really great game though. I really did enjoy this, but I had my 3 weeks winter vacation. If you watched my last video, I actually showed this, and well, fuck it. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. This was my first Dragon Quest game, Dragon Quest JRPG game. I do have Dragon Quest Builders 1 and 2. I love those. Those are great, I didn't beat neither one, but even now I want to go back and play a little bit of those. I love the building in those and the creativity you can do. Those are fantastic. But this was my first JRPG in the Dragon Quest series, and loved it. Overall, I loved it. I had my 3 weeks winter vacation, so first week, I got this, I played it, I was like, this is, not gonna lie, this is probably gonna be my game of the year. It's so good. Second week, it's still probably gonna be in my top 3 game of the year list. It is still really good. It is still really great. Third week, it could end. Probably still gonna be my top 7 game of the years list, which I do every year, end of the year, or maybe early next year, but I still do it, so yeah. I did dig this a lot. This is fucking fantastic, but the length. Ooh, the original PlayStation 1, I believe that is over 100 hours from what I've heard and what I googled, so they did downsize this. They cut and streamlined stuff, story stuff and all that, so this one, I actually read from online that this one would be like 55 hours or something. That was a crude estimate. So by the time I hit 55 hours, I was like, ooh, this was fantastic ride. I'm digging this. And there was this kind of stuff that I thought was ending. It was kind of a fake ending. I mean, while it played out, I don't want to spoil what happened, but while it played out, I was like, last boss already. This came kind of sudden. Well, this is kind of stupid way to end this, but at the same time, I can start playing other games. So I was kind of relieved, and while it wasn't the perfect ending, and it wasn't the ending, I was kind of like, I'm actually good if this ends here right now, even though the ending's kind of stupid and abrupt. Well, it didn't end there, and I was already in a different mode. I was like, yes, I get to play something else on my winter vacation too. Thank God. Son of a bitch! It continued for another like 10 hours or something, or 15 hours. I think it was between 65 and 70 hours it took me to beat this game, so it's still a lengthy project. Son of a bitch, but really I did enjoy this. Really great old school style JRPG. Just one more proof that PlayStation 1 was really the golden era of JRPGs. Jesus Christ, this was just so damn good. Despite the length, I think I'm still gonna give this like 8.5. It's the fucking length. But you have your main characters in this, and they live in a small island, and as far as anyone knows in that world, that's the only place on that world. Everything else is just water and one island. But they start looking out, and then they find these tablets, and once you get a whole tablet, because they're all in pieces, you have to find tablet pieces and put it all together, you actually get to teleport into another island. And once you beat that island, there's usually some kind of mystery or something, or some bad guys, some darkness, some shit like that you need to beat. That island actually pops into right next to your island. So, you slowly keep growing this world map by saving those islands one by one. Really cool idea. I really do love the story for the most parts in this. Like I said, it gets long, and I started losing a little bit of my interest there, but at least like first 30 hours or something, I was really invested, maybe 40 hours even. Really invested, and really liked a lot of the characters and their backstories and all the stories on those islands you found. I mean, it wasn't anything like Shakespearean shit or anything. It was pretty basic stuff, you had one island where everyone had turned into animals, so you had to figure out what the fuck's going on, and all that kind of, basic stuff. You had one island that had a volcano that was about to erupt, but, obviously there was something shifty behind that eruption, so you had to take care of that. There was bad guys, pretty basic stuff, but I dug the characters, and I haven't actually seen the original game, but I really like the characters, how they look like kind of anime, kind of toy-ish. And the enemies are so nicely designed. This is like Final Fantasy, but a bit more kid-friendly. They kind of look so cute. Even the enemies, even when they're supposed to look like kind of gross, they kind of look like they're like these toys. Really just dig the graphical style, and just good old-fashioned turn-based JRPG. You take turns, you attack, you throw spells and all that kind of stuff. You have the job system in this, so your characters, they can have different jobs, and you learn all those skills, you level up, and yeah. All that kind of basic stuff. I'm gonna say 8.5. I really enjoyed this. This was really good, and I'm really excited to actually buy more Dragon Quest games now. Any suggestions? Something a bit shorter though. Any Dragon Age games that are like 30 hours, maybe 40 hours, something like that, I have Dragon Quest, was it 11? I have that on my shelf, never played it. That one looks fantastic, but I can already tell that that's gonna be really long, so I gotta be in the right set of mind and, have the right mood to start that. I kinda wanna start it. After this, I'm gonna take a little break from JRPGs, but still, I'm interested in getting back to Dragon Quest games. Those are fucking good. At least that one was. And the other ones might be better if they're shorter. then we're on to my last PlayStation 5 game, and this one, again, really cheap game. I bought it. I wanted to buy this last year, but there were two choices, this or Prison. And I went with Prison, which I do believe was a little better game than this. I still enjoyed this, but Prison was definitely better out of these two. But yeah, the game I got was Deliver at All Cost. Nothing majorly mind-blowing in this. You basically you have all these kind of wacky delivery jobs in this. You have this pickup truck, and you have to usually take some kind of... It's largely like physics-based delivery assignments. Like your pickup truck might be full of like watermelons, and so you have to drive carefully so they don't drop. You can drop a certain amount, and you have to get to your destination. Also, there's like there was one mission where there's a volcano that erupts, kind of like in Dragon Quest. It erupts, and there's these stones, coming down, so you have to avoid those and quickly escape the town and all that. And this one was really fun. I did dig this. It's just old school, kind of really arcadey feel, the driving and all that. It's isometric view. So yeah, if you didn't like GTA 1 and 2, you're one of those guys who got pissed because you can't see too much in front and you keep crashing. This isn't that bad, but it still kind of has the same thing. Prison, I think, did it better. It was isometric view, but you could lower the camera enough that you could see enough in front that you'd be good. This one's got basically two different angles. It's isometric view from here or isometric view from here. You can't turn it around like 360. Also, a lot of the times I felt like if you switch from here to here or here to here, you got kind of confused because the city just kind of turned. But really fun game, a lot of destruction. I mean, you can just drive through all the buildings. It is insane, I really do dig the physics, how you just destroy everything. It wasn't a hard game, pretty easy game. If you destroy enough buildings, there's cops that are gonna come after you. I got those after me, I think once, maybe twice. So you can really destroy a lot before the cops come after you. There's all kinds of hidden stuff, there's these money crates you can get, and there's these upgrades you can get to your car, and there's secret cars, obviously. Although what's kind of stupid is there's all these secret cars, but all the missions you do, the main story missions, they require you to drive the pickup truck, so I felt like the secret cars were kind of missed opportunity. Well, unless you want to drive around and collect those money crates and all that, try to do some of the side missions, little ones. You really didn't do anything with those secret cars, so like I said, wasted opportunity. They could have been better, but still, I really enjoyed this, and probably the reason why I enjoyed this as much as I did was because, well, I played it after Dragon Quest. That was a long project, so this was just what I needed after that. Kind of light, pretty quick. I think it took me like 15 hours or something. Between 10 and 15 hours, I do believe, to beat this game. I did collect almost everything. I kind of got stuck there, collecting. And you can also walk in this, so it's not just driving. So you can't steal cars if they're being driven, but if they're parked, you can take those. You can take any car that's parked. There's really no driving over people, so this ain't no GTA. I mean, you can drive over people, but they don't die. They just kind of bounce, and they might get pissed and might come after you. You can kind of, only moves you really have is this push and then this little kick. You can't see my foot. I don't know why I showed the kick, but yeah, this little kick which you use mostly to break crates. You can kind of push the enemy. Someone gets pissed, you push them once, they always calm down after that, and that's about the combat. So yeah, it's all about the driving pretty much. There's also a story. I was surprised. It started out, this takes place in 1959. Also, it continues a little bit to the 60s also. The story was, towards the end, it actually got kind of interesting. I was like, first it was kind of weird. I was like, well, okay, they went with the 50s vibe, and it's something stupid and light in the background. But turns out, towards the end, the story actually did have some depth into it. It wasn't just a shallow thing that they just taped over this. In fact, towards the end, I feel like they focused more on the story and forgot the kind of cool, fun delivery missions, which was a shame because I really dug those. So it kind of switches. It starts out as a really nice, fun arcade game where you do all these kind of delivery missions that are physics-based and all kind of fun. But then towards the end, it switches more to following the story. It kind of loses the fun from the delivery job. So, but still, I did dig this. If I had to give the score, I'd say 7.5 is a good score. maybe 7. Hell, I'll say 7, but after a long project like Dragon Quest 7, 7.5. You just gotta have the right mood, you know. You want something light, quick, you know, some kind of little snack between longer games. That's perfect. I dug that. Then I have 2 retro games for Nintendo. Well, now what Nintendo that might be? Is it Nintendo Wii? Nope. Not collecting for that anymore. GameCube? I sold my GameCube. Actually, it was in my plans to sell my Nintendo Wii too, you know, once I get the energy to, well, actually put it up for sale. Nintendo 64? Fuck that. I wouldn't buy anything for that, even if someone pointed a gun at me. Buy a Nintendo 64 game or eat a bullet? Pull the trigger already. You're doing me a favor. Super Nintendo game? Nah. What I got myself is actually 2 NES games, and this is the first one, Section Z. Now I didn't just suddenly decide that, fuck, you know, I guess I have too much money, I might as well start buying retro again. No, that's not the case. I'll explain why I bought these after I'm done showing these. NES games, not a lot to talk about, but yeah, Section Z, this is one of those games that I didn't play ton growing up. I think I had this at some point. There was this one antiquarium place we had here. I basically... I brought my old games there and I bought new games. I kept switching those, you know, like sometimes daily, sometimes only weekly, but you know, I had quite a few different games throughout my, you know, NES was the hot shit, but I didn't have like the biggest collection. I usually had like maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 games top at the same time, so that was my collection, but I kept switching those. So I think I had Section Z, or I might have played this at friend's place. I don't remember at all, but I dug this. It's a shoot 'em up, side scrolling. The reason why I kind of really dug this was because before this I had played like Gradius, and then there was the Salamander game, and they were both, you know, you had your little spaceship you were flying around, and it kept scrolling, you know, horizontally and or vertically. Salamander also had those levels that scrolled vertically, but this one didn't have a spaceship. This one actually has that guy. Behind here you can see some pictures maybe. And you're basically flying as this little guy, and you keep shooting. I thought that was cool, you know. Not the same old spaceship every time, something new, you know. A guy that back then that was a big thing. It's a decent shoot 'em up. I did dig this. I tried it before I bought it at friend's place, and it's been like 35 years since I played this, and still enjoyed it. This one actually at the end of levels there's choices where you can go, you know, there's these teleports, but I didn't even know until before I started doing this video. I took a little peek from YouTube, you know, and watched some video of this, and turns out the teleport system, you have to go in the right teleports so you can get through this game. I didn't even know about that system, so if I played this as a kid, I probably wondered why this never ends, and I just kept going the same circle over and over or something like that. No idea, but never beat this. Now I've played it a little bit, and now that I know, I might be a bit frustrating system, but NES games oftentimes had all those kind of stupid systems, and if I remember correctly, even Super Mario games had that kind of system. Was it the first Mario where you had to take the right tubes or right paths to get to the end or something in the last castles? Something like that. It's been so long since I played those. Can't remember. But yeah, shoot 'em up. Nothing special, but it's alright. I dig this. If I had to give this a score, well, it would be on the NES scale, and I'd say this is like a 7.5. Maybe 7, but still, you know, good add to my collection. I dig this. I don't regret buying this. It's got box. This one actually has manual. This is a complete in a box. That's great. For me nowadays, I'm good with just the box. All my games are pretty much. I have 4 loose cartridges there, and everything else in it is in box. I think most of them are complete in a box, but still, you know, I'm cool with just the box. It looks nice on the shelf, the box, so that's why I kind of want to. I mean, this is a shitty box. Look at that. There's only like a little piece of that top flap there, so and the bottom's a bit taped up with this yellow tape, so not in a perfect condition, but still. Section Z. And the other game I got, I was missing this from my NES collection, and I kind of wanted this always, and well, this is a sequel. I want the first part too. I'm missing that too, but definitely the coolest looking cartridges on NES and some of the best games on NES. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. I remember playing this first time. I think first time I played this was on a cruise ship. There was this room that had NESs and arcade games and all that. I do believe that was the first place I played this. It was on a cruise ship. Pretty goddamn sure. I played this afterwards too, but yeah, that was probably the first time, and I played it. I was like, the hell is this game? This is fantastic. It's got overhead, kind of view map where you adventure the world map, and then when there's enemies or towns and stuff like that, you enter those. It turns into a side-scrolling adventure or action adventure where you go forward and you can stab things with your sword or throw those little daggers, or the sword shoots those little daggers, and also you can, I think in this one you could use your shield too. It's been so long since I played this. I did try this before I bought this a little bit, but didn't really like. I was drunk. I just checked that. Okay, it works, and I think I played like level or two, and screw it, I'll buy it. But yeah, legendary game. Best Zelda games, Zelda 1, 2, and especially Super Nintendo Link to the Past. That's fantastic. I'm missing that from my Super Nintendo collection, but that one's pricey, and like I said, I'm not fully like back in the retro collecting, but after buying these, I kind of got a little spark. I did Google some retro games, and I was like, but tomorrow I'm actually gonna go and I need to buy a new car. My old one's rusted up, so yeah, fuck collecting retro, at least for now. So, but yeah, Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. If I had to give this a score, I think I'd give this like 8.5 on an NES scale. It's I loved this. I think I actually liked this more than the first Zelda game. A lot of people liked the first Zelda game more. I'd have to play the first Zelda game again. It's been so long time. I think now as an adult, I think I might actually prefer the first Zelda game. Well, don't know, but yeah, this one, the gold cartridge, that is so cool. Doesn't have the instructions, so it wasn't complete in a box, but like I said, I'll take the box, just the box. I need to buy those plastic covers for these, because these are kind of shitty boxes. And still, even though if these were good boxes, I still need to buy those. I have those for all my other games. I thought I still had those, but seems like I missed those when we moved here in this apartment, like over 3 years ago, so couldn't find those. I did think about, because they sell those, they sell singular plastic covers, but also in groups of 10. So if I bought the group of 10, I could buy 9 more NES games. Actually 18 more NES games, because this one's small box, so I need the small box cover, and this one's big box, so I need the big box cover. So there's still quite a few NES games I want. Although I do have to say, when it comes to small box, there's not that many of those, but still, don't know. It could be a good excuse to buy more NES games. Well, because I have the plastic covers, so why not? But yeah, the reason why I bought this, my friend actually, he messaged me and said, I have this NES, I have these games, what can you get out of these? They usually always ask me, even though I haven't collected a retro in years now. Well, I guess out of our group of friends, I know better about the prices than anyone else. So, fucking I gave him the prices, at least close proximity, what he might get out of those. And yeah, he said, yeah, he's gonna sell those. And I was like, okay, cool, he'll get some money and all that. Then he said that he was actually at my other friend's place, and they were drinking there, and my other friend was thinking about buying the NES and all those games. So I was like, he wants to buy those? And he said, yeah, he wants to buy those. Well, if that cunt wants to buy those, I'm kind of interested now too. So he said, I gave him the prices so I can pick first. So obviously, I watched the pile, and a couple of those I already had myself. But Section Z and Link, those were the ones I was really interested in. From what I checked from online, those were kind of good prices. They were still cheaper than what they would have been if I bought them separately from someone else. But so I'd consider that a good price. But yeah, basically, I bought those because I'm a petty asshole and I hate my friend. So I couldn't let him have those. I had to get those. So yeah, out of pure pettiness and just to get the chance to kind of poke at my friend a little bit, like give him the finger, just I said, yeah, I'll buy those, just that asshole won't get them. I do stupid stuff when my pettiness meter goes like here, yeah, some friends I have, I live to fuck with them. That is what gives me a will to live, because I can fuck with my friends for longer period. Actually, what gives me my will to live longer than them is the fact that if they die first, I get to piss on their grave. Actually, with this certain friend in question, we're kind of competing who lives longer. Luckily, he drinks a lot and he's overweight. I think he's gonna kick the bucket way sooner than I am, so I get to piss on his grave. What can I say? I'm a great friend. Anyway, that was pretty much all the games I had here, and I think I've gone on for way too long. Fuck off, and I'll fuck off, and we'll meet back here when I upload more crap. Unless I scared you away with my peeing on dead people thing. But that only goes for friends, so, you know, I think it's better to stay enemies. Anyway, have you been buying any games lately? Anything retro? Anything NES? Fuck, if my car, I mean, I could still fix it, but fixing all that rust, that's gonna be like over 1,000 euros, but possibly closer to 2,000 euros, I don't know. New car? I mean, sure, it's gonna be more expensive because I don't want to buy some 500 euro rusty bucket that's gonna break on me immediately. I'm not gonna buy a new one though, it's gonna be used, and well, we'll see, but fuck. I kind of got back into retro games. You know, last time I was at the friend I was talking about whose grave I'm gonna piss on, we played like Amiga and NES, and we played Mega Man 3 on NES, and shit, I was God damn it. I need to save up some money. Stupid car. Anyway, you do you, and I'm gonna go and goodbye.